What's it like to be a tall Asian guy, huh? Is life really that different? Well, let's talk about it. But first, I gotta go grab some groceries. Actually, I just realized last time I grabbed groceries while filming a video, I had like too much in my hand, so I'm gonna go do that afterwards. Let's talk about this real quick, and I'm not speaking as a tall Asian guy myself. I'm 5'9", functionally 5'10", with the hair up and the, depending on the shoes, scratching 5'11", maybe visually, but basically I do have a lot of tall Asian guy friends, and I talk about this all the time with them. By the way, I also have a lot of short Asian friends. So I just got friends of all different heights, okay? This is actually from a Reddit post, so I'm gonna start reading it. This goes, where are all my tall Asian guys at? I'm 6'5", 220, Chinese American. Let me just stop you there, buddy. You're large. You're a large person. I don't care the race. It could be white, black, Scandinavian, a Viking. You are a large person. 6'5", 220. That puts you easily in the top 1% of American male adult height, period. What else does he say? I'm a Chinese American guy with a relatively muscular frame. Holy shit. Yeah, you did kind of hit the genetic lottery. That's what I'm saying. So anyways, this post, this guy is not just, this is not just a 6 foot something guy. This guy's 6'5", muscular. All right, let's continue. I've gotten all the Yao Ming jokes growing up, and people are generally intrigued about me since I'm not exactly someone you'd see every day, but I'd like to think I genuinely get along with everyone. Let me tell you this something, man. First of all, people are intrigued by large and tall people, especially if you're Asian. You are something that not a lot of people see. I mean, let's say you're in the top 1% of American adult height. If you just control that for Asian American, you're probably in the top 0.4%. So yeah, people are always gonna ask you, like other Asians are gonna ask you, hey, how'd you get so tall? What are your parents like? Maybe other non-Asian people or just people of any race are gonna ask you like, oh, did you play basketball? Or like, hey, can you do this? Or hey, can you reach that for me? People are just intrigued. They're just gonna talk to you because you're a large person. It doesn't even matter how you look. Like this guy he didn't even say he was like handsome or anything. He's muscular and 6'5". That's Dwayne Johnson height. I don't know if he's Dwayne Johnson's build, but The Rock, that's literally his height. Getting along with everybody when you're that big, I'm not gonna lie, is kind of easy because you just have to be nice. Like if you're this imposing, intimidating figure, you just have to be nice. Like you're Jason Momoa, Dwayne Johnson, if you're Joel Embiid, if you're Shaquille O'Neal, you just have to be nice. And people are gonna be like, they're gonna think you already add value because you're just so large, you can be a protector and stuff. So if you're nice to people, and oftentimes a lot of the bigger guys are, they're more chill, laid back, a little bit nicer, because also people kind of fear them low key. So it's like when you walk into a room, like people aren't looking to disrespect you. That's the thing about being a shorter Asian guy or even an average height Asian guy, is like people don't mind to disrespect you. They don't think twice about disrespecting you. But if you're 6'5", yeah, people are gonna talk to you a little bit different. He goes on to say, I also do pretty well with women of all races, really. Makes sense. I got another take, man. When you're that tall, as an Asian, you kind of transcend being Asian. Look how much graffiti is on this thing. Lower East Side, baby. But like when you're that tall and you're 6'5", you basically transcend being Asian. Like you're just a man's height. You're just a large guy, period, for anybody. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter your race as much. I'm not saying these women don't see him as Asian, but he clearly so does not fit and fall within the Asian stereotypes. So therefore being Asian actually matters less. And I'm going to get to the responsibility that tall Asian guys have to the Asian community, by the way. I'm gonna get to those points because with great power comes great responsibility, by the way. Continue. I really wanna know my fellow tall Asian brothers' experiences with women, how they perceive you, and any unique experiences that come along with being tall and Asian that you'd be willing to share. Well, let me tell you this, it's different, okay? At 5'9", I actually stand at what is considered average American male height, so I'm not mad about that. I am satisfied with my height, but also I have a lot of friends who are, of course, much shorter, but also have big personalities. I'm gonna get to that in a second. let me check up on this restaurant that actually carries my chili oil, and I think they need a re-up, and they just messaged me, and I'm gonna go in, walk in, and tell them that I'm gonna drop off a case later today. Actually on East Broadway at Sen Saigon, this is a vegan Vietnamese restaurant, and they actually have been using smala on the tables, and they're almost out. So they ran out of it on certain tables, and basically I'm gonna bring in another case for them to buy. So, hey, smala sauce, it is vegan. It is vegan. As far as I was saying, as far as like taller guys being able to date all different races of women, it's just like, once you're that size, I have a theory, actually I have a theory that, and it is not the craziest theory, but once you're a certain amount height taller than a woman and you're muscular, the race stops mattering as much. Obviously, unless she has very, very strong preferences or if she's kind of racist. But usually any woman, like a lot of women, they're just gonna see your height and muscularity, and basically, as far as dating short term or maybe having fun or hooking up, they're gonna give it a shot, because there's also gonna be this perception that maybe because you're taller, you're also, you know, bigger down there as well. So hopefully you don't disappoint them. But anyways, yeah, totally see it. I have tall Asian guy friends who, honestly, they're not in any sort of self-hating way, but they're just like, oh, like, you know, I'm not really trying to date Asian women. I'm more in this space where I'm dating non-Asian women. And I think that's cool that they have those options. And yeah, I mean, they should do that, because obviously everybody's doing that. A lot of Asian women are doing that too. So I think if you're an Asian guy who can, you should reach out. Which brings me to my last point, which is called, with great power comes great responsibility, fellas. Yeah, let's just say you're blessed. You're a tall Asian guy, kind of athletic, decent looking. It's okay, you're blessed in some way. It doesn't mean you're the king, you're the leader. Doesn't mean everybody's gotta listen to you. Doesn't mean you're extra smarter. It doesn't even mean you're extra more capable, but you are a rarity physically, okay? So with great power comes great responsibility. Let me tell you what the responsibilities of a tall Asian guy should be to at least the Asian community. Let me tell you this. Tall Asian guys cannot only date short Asian women. I repeat, you cannot only date shorter Asian women. You need to leave some short Asian women for the short Asian guys. You are throwing off the pool, and you're throwing off the ratios by just staying in the Asian community only, and kind of like dating, like if you're like dating all these girls who are like 7-8 inches shorter only, like let's say you're 6'2", you only want to date 5'2" women because you think they're cuter or whatever, or they like you more, that's not cool. I say that to my tall Asian guy friends. I say it all the time, and they know what I mean. If you're 6'2" and Asian, that doesn't mean you have to date only like 5'9" Asian women. I'm not saying that, you know, because some of us out there also like taller women too, such as myself. But what I mean is that you cannot only date short Asian women, okay? You throw off the ratio, is gonna throw off the pool. At some point you gotta go further your genes and produce more tall Asians, all right? So get with like women who are like, you know, not way shorter. You should use your height to help others. Now, whether that's go out to the nightclub with your shorter Asian friends, you are gonna be seen as not the protector, but really more of a deterrent. Like, I'm not saying every tall Asian guy gotta be combat trained and, you know, be a security detail for everybody. That's a lot of responsibility too, okay? Men, Asian guys should be able to take care of themselves as well, but I'd be kidding if I was gonna say that there is not some expectation that you, as the larger person, need to be able to step in at least and de-escalate or break up stuff. That's all I got for tall Asian guys, man. You know, I know height isn't everything. I have really great friends who are short, very short, 5'4", 5'5", but they're super cool, charisma, you know, they're clever, they get it done, and they still have a good time, you know what I mean? So it's like, you can be short, it's not a death sentence. And obviously in this world right now, women are always like, oh, I need like a tall guy. Actually, I would say, at least for Asians, I feel like Asian women say that less, because if they like Asian guys, they are more likely to give us a little bit of a break, and you don't have to be that tall. But yeah, there are different groups of women or different women in general who are obsessed with height, and I think that's really stupid. I'm not saying you shouldn't want a guy taller than you. I understand that, but to be like, oh, I need a guy who's like 7 inches taller, I think that's pretty dumb. Or like when 5'3" girls are like, oh, I need a 6-footer. Ridiculous. What's this obsession? Plus, sometimes, you know, the medium average guys, they're the most well-balanced. I'm just saying that because I'm like a medium-sized guy. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you're tall and Asian, come to think about it, man, I was thinking about this post, and I was like, whoever wrote this post, I actually know this guy in New York who fits this description perfectly. Frank? Frank, did you write this post? Big Frank? Yeah, we call you Big Frank. Did you write this post? You're 6'5", 220. Date different races. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Maybe the next video I'll do is about being a short Asian guy. Because again, I'm in the middle. I'm not that short. I mean, considering like based by like American standards, sometimes depending on what culture or subculture you come from, you're like, oh, short kings start at 5'9" and below. I'm like, 5'9"'s average. That's average American. Anyways, I have friends that are short and tall, by the way, so that's why I'm able to talk about it. Anyways, let me know. Hit that like button. Click subscribe. Until next time, I'm out. Peace. By the way, have you guys ever been to a nightclub or a bar and just felt so short? And you're like, wait, where did all these tall people come from? Do only tall people go out at night? I'll tell you this. Nightlife is like the NBA. The tall people come out. Yeah, you know why? Because maybe those are places that tall people really benefit from. And some of the short people, they stay home, or they're like going to restaurants or like hanging out with friends or doing something else. I'm just saying. I've even gone to certain Asian nights around other Asians and I felt kind of short. I was like, dang, what the? It's like the average height here must be like 5'10" and a half. And especially some of the non-Asian clubs, I'm like, hey, is there like an NFL team here or something? Is an NBA team partying here? What the heck? This is where all the models are at? What the heck? Everybody's tall. I think sometimes in life it's okay to feel short sometimes, even if you're not short. It's humbling. Gain perspective.